Hey everybody, it's me, Dr. Kara, and instead of doing my regular blog this week, I decided I'm going to do a series of little mini workshops, and I want to teach everybody how to use my 4-step system to communicate intuitively with your pet. So I'm going to be sending you a link every day to a new video. Each day is a different step. We're going to start today with step 1. Obviously, you don't have to watch them all because it's up to you. But if you have been wanting to learn how to communicate intuitively with animals, then I'm hoping that this is the jump start that you are looking for. And this is going to get you going on your path. I really firmly, strongly feel that if you have a desire within you, that's part of your spiritual blueprint that is wanting to get brought into reality. And sometimes, we need to give ourselves permission to do what we want to do. Sometimes we just have to learn the skills to do what we want to do. And so I'm here to say I give you permission. You can go and talk to animals. And I want to give you the skills that made all the difference for me when I was learning how to talk to animals, because I went through my whole life wishing, hoping, dreaming, longing to be able to communicate intuitively with animals. And it wasn't until I was in my 40s that I learned how to do it. And I learned how to do it by using the steps that I'm going to teach you here. And these are the same steps that I've taught to my clients, to my students in my classes, to my clients. When I'm doing readings, I teach people how to do stuff. When I'm doing coaching, I teach people how to do stuff. And obviously when I'm teaching classes, I teach people how to do stuff. So this is the first time that I've really put it all together in this way. And this is going to be just a little mini workshop so that you get a feel for each one of the steps. Each day I'm going to give you a step that you can implement that's going to make a difference. So obviously I can't give you all the steps because it takes 3 months for me to teach people all this stuff. And it took me, over a year when I was doing it. To learn all of these things. Now I've condensed it down to 3 months, and now I'm giving you the shorthand version because it may be that just there's one piece that you're missing, and this little mini free workshop is all that you need to get you over that hump, to get you to that next level, to do whatever it is you need to be doing. So that's my hope and dream. I want to live in a world where all animals are respected and honored as beings worthy of in and of themselves. And I want to live in a world where people can communicate intuitively with animals all over the place. I want this ability to be taught in schools, to kindergartners, to families, to everybody. So this is my way of affirming my dream coming true, as I'm going to try to spread this information to as many people as I possibly can. And it starts with this little mini workshop. So today, tomorrow, the next 3 days, there will be an email in your inbox from me with a link. You can click on that link and watch the video. And I want to just start out with a little bit of an overview and a little bit of a story. So why do we want to talk to animals? Well, number one, E.O. Wilson, the famous sociobiologist, he says that we have something imprinted in our DNA, this need to connect deeply with nature and with animals. He calls it biophilia, which is the love of all life. But it's really a genetic drive to connect deeply with animals and with nature and with all of life. I think there's as many reasons to talk to animals and to want to talk to animals as there are people and as there are animals. Like every animal on the planet gives me a different reason to want to connect and understand what it's like to be that animal. I personally feel like my life purpose is to be a messenger for animals, to be able to share their words, their sentiments with people that might not otherwise get communicated. My more personal reason back when I was learning how to do this was because I had my dog Aiko, who I wanted to connect more deeply with. I wanted to understand her better. I wanted to know what it was like to be her. I wanted to take better care of her. And that's what really drove me to really practice with her and learn how to use these skills with her. And in a very practical way, being able to communicate intuitively with animals, it helps us feel better. It helps us connect more deeply, but also practically it helps with a lot of the day-to-day decisions and tasks that we need to do. When I finally had my breakthrough with Aiko, it was 2 weeks before she died, and that was the breakthrough. I was getting her all geared up to get her in the car to take her to the vet to get an acupuncture treatment, and she hated it. But I made her do it anyways, and she looked at me that day, and clear as day, she said to me, "No more. I don't want to do this anymore. I only have 2 weeks left." And I was just dumbfounded right then. I was like, okay, this is it. This is the last time I will take you here, and with only 2 weeks to live, we're just going to make those the best 2 weeks we can. It was such a comfort to kind of have that timeline, because that indecision time, that not knowing time, is so challenging. And it allowed me to really have that special time with her, knowing that it was going to end, and to be there for her in a way that I might not have been so available had I not known. She died 2 weeks and I think 2 days after she said that to me. And she was absolutely right. She had 2 weeks left. So we made them the best that they could possibly be for her. And having that communication with her made it easier for everybody in the family. We got to talk to her. My kids were little. They were, like probably 6 and 9 years old or something like that. And so we got to really be with her in a way that we wouldn't have otherwise had the chance had I not been able to talk to her. Another really fun practical story to share is this happened a couple of years ago. We were taking a walk around the neighborhood, and there's a horse who lives on the other side of the block. It's like a quarter of a mile away. And we sometimes bring carrots and apples over to Star, the horse. And so we were walking by, the whole family and the dogs and everybody. And it was a beautiful evening. It was warm. The sun was setting. And it was summer, so there's like a lot of flies. And Star's person, I kind of always say owner, but we know it's not owner. But Star's person was there with one of those fly mask things. They're kind of like, a screen that they put over the horse's face so that the flies don't bug them. And she was complaining, saying how Star wasn't cooperating. Star never cooperated. It was always so hard to get these masks on. And she was doing it to help Star, make her feel better. And apparently Star was just a big pain in the butt. And so as we were standing there, Star walked right over to the person and stood there calmly while she put that fly mask on. We fed Star some carrots and spent some time with her. And as we were walking away, my son, who was probably about 9 or 10 at the time, said, "Mom, what did you do?" And I said, "I just sent her a picture and asked her if she wanted to get her fly mask on." And that was it. And it happened. So there's so many reasons. I was late for a meeting one day, and my bunny was out of the cage, and I was trying to herd him back in. And then finally I was like, "Duh, Kara, you're an animal communicator." And so I just said, "Hey, if you go in your cage," I hate the word cage, but you know what I mean, your little house place, "I'll give you a treat." He came from the other room, went right past me into there, and I gave him a treat. And I was then only a couple minutes late for my appointment. So there's so many practical reasons. And in addition to those spiritual longings and those deeper reasons for wanting to talk to animals. So those are some of the things from my life. But I want you to take a moment right now and just think about, why do you want to talk to animals? What is your why? Who is the animal that you want to talk to? Who do you want to get closer to? Is it a bird outside your window? Is it an animal who lives in the house with you? Is it a whale? I don't know, a sea turtle that you saw on the beach laying her eggs, whatever it is. What's your why? Take a minute and just get really clear on why you want to do this. So I've been kind of talking for a while about me and myself, but I haven't really, said why you should listen to me, right? Like, why should I listen to her? So she can talk to animals, but why should I believe her? So just a little bit about me. Um, Many of you who are watching this know me as the host of the Animal Wisdom World Summit. We had 28 experts from around the world come together and talk about connecting deeply with animals, taking care of animals, getting guidance from animals, understanding animals. And that was one of my great joys of my life. I just had the best time talking to everybody and meeting all of you. I'm also the founder of the Animal Wisdom Circle, which is a monthly membership program where we connect intuitively with a different animal each month and get their guidance and spiritual guidance and wisdom for how we can become better humans. I'm the author of 3 best-selling books about communicating with animals and applying animal wisdom to our lives, as well as spiritual psychology tools so that you can take the wisdom from the animals and really apply it to your life to make your life better. Those books are actually right there, all 3 of them. And my dolphin book, that was when I was getting my PhD studying wild dolphins in South Carolina. So I've been a professional animal communicator for 8 years now. And so I have done all kinds of readings with pets who are having physical challenges, mental challenges, emotional challenges, health challenges, with pets who are getting ready to pass on and make their transition, and helping them to communicate their needs and wishes to their people. And then also I do readings with pets who have passed on to bring their messages back to the people who are here grieving their departure. Let's see, what else? And then, of course, I am the creator of How to Talk to Your Pet. And this is the proven 4-step system that I'm going to teach you in these videos about how to talk to your pet intuitively. And it's a very clear process. There's very clear 4 steps designed to do specific things. I've tried to simplify it and narrow it down to the essentials so that that it's not theory. It's like you go and you do this and it works, and I think that's one of the objections that people have to intuitive communication. It seems so fluid, so wacky, so woo-woo, so intangible. And what I teach is very practical, very specific. It's like you turn on a light switch and the light goes on. If you do this, your intuition goes on. If you use these tools, they work. So I've been asking people and collecting questions from people for years about communicating intuitively with animals. And, the most common question is, can I do it? And I say, yes, you can. Everybody can do this. All of us are hardwired to be able to do this. And if you have a desire, that means you have even more natural ability to do this. Intuition is built into every single human being and animal on the planet. So this is really about learning how to use the system that you already have. And then the other question that I get a lot, and that's the one I want to answer right now, is there a simple, clear formula for talking to animals? And how can I uncomplicate the process? People kind of get a little bit superstitious, like, oh, I have to do this and that, and then the other thing, and then I have to do this, and go, no, you don't. You really, really don't. You just have to understand how your intuition works and work with it. And that's what I teach you how to do. So I'm just looking down at my notes, sorry. So anyway, so here we are, 4 videos, 1 each day, a different step each day. My challenge to you is to watch these videos and apply them, and do them in order, because they're in this order for a reason. They build on each other. So what I'm going to teach you today, practice today, and then what I teach you tomorrow, do that plus the next thing, and keep adding on little by little, and it'll all start to flow together. So I really want you to experience what I experience. It's delightful to just send a picture to a horse and have her do exactly what you invited her to do. And then to have my son go, hey mom, what did you do? Because I didn't say anything out loud. I just kind of, said, oh, I could maybe be of some help here. So it's just fun. There's such joy. There's such satisfaction. There's such fulfillment in being able to do this. And if you're like me, I had this longing since I was a kid and I was in my 40s. So if you have this longing, it's going to be even that much more fun for you to be able to do it too, because it's just cool. It's just cool. So all right, so let's talk then about the first step of my system. The first step is all about understanding your intuition and your energy field and how those work together and how you can harness and manage your energy field to increase your intuition. One of the common questions that I really get, and that's the one I want to answer right now, is how do I quiet my mind so that I can hear the animals? Which is a great question. And my psychic teachers always told me that animals are communicating with us all the time. We just aren't paying attention. We just don't hear it. So I love this question. How can I quiet my mind so I can hear the animals? I teach 5 different tools in this step that are all designed to help you manage your energy field, turn on your intuition, quiet your mind, and give you the focus so that you can be a good receptor for any intuitive information that's coming around you. The one I want to teach you is the one that I think is the most important. It's called the grounding cord. I'm going to walk you through it in just a second. But one of the important things to understand about the grounding cord is that it literally turns off our fight or flight response. So if you're feeling nervous or edgy or anything like that, or your pet is, you give yourself a grounding cord, you give your pet a grounding cord, and immediately that monkey mind stops. That whole worry thing that we do with overthinking, that stops. So it slows things down. And this is the number one thing you can do to boost your intuition, is to give yourself a grounding cord every day and to decrease your stress in general in life. So we're going to start. I want you to close your eyes, take a nice, slow, deep breath, and I want you to bring your awareness to your first chakra. And if you don't know where your first chakra is, it's at the bottom of your torso, right between your anus and your genitals. Anatomically, that's called your perineum. So that spot right there is where your first chakra is. And from there, visualize a beam of light energy moving straight down out of your body, through the chair that you're sitting on, into the earth, below whatever building you're in, down through all the layers of the planet, until you reach the very center of the earth. And once you see that beam of light energy reach the center of the earth, either find or create a way to anchor it there. And you can be as serious or as silly or as literal or as metaphorical as you would like. You can be symbolic, whatever. But find a way to anchor that beam of light energy, that's your grounding cord, right into the center of the earth. This grounding cord is kind of like the string on a balloon. If you think of your energy field as a balloon around your body, the grounding cord is how we hold on to it, how we keep it right where we want to have it. And we really want to have our energy field right around our body. When we're stressed out, it can go other places. Let's not get into that, but it can. So the grounding cord is our way to take that very first step to turn off our fight or flight response, if we have it to any degree whatsoever, and to make sure that our energy field is available around our body for us to use when we want to communicate intuitively with an animal. So if you have that grounding cord connected, then go ahead, come back up, bring your awareness back up into yourself, open your eyes, and take a moment to just do a little inventory. It happens to me every time, and I'm noticing it right now. Again, I'm talking more slowly than I did before we did the grounding cord. And so you may notice some changes in your body too. You may feel less tension in your shoulders, more relaxed in your body. Your thoughts may be more relaxed. You know, it can show up in a whole bunch of different ways. But that's the number one thing. And so your challenge for today is, when you're connecting with your pet or whatever animal you're around, make sure that you have your grounding cord set. This is what's going to slow down that monkey mind, slow down your thoughts, and allow you to be more aware of what's going on. This is the first step. Then we'll get to the next steps in the subsequent sessions, the subsequent videos. So the other things that I teach in step 1 include running your energy, energizing your chakras. We have a technique called center of head or neutrality for moving in your awareness into a very neutral space, because it's really important to be neutral when you're doing your intuitive communication. And I also have a couple of bonus tools in there, golden sun and magnets and stuff like that, that just help you manage your energy field. This step is really about managing your energy in a way that will enhance your intuition. And the grounding cord is the best place to start. Everybody should be doing a grounding cord at least once a day. Tomorrow, I want to share step 2 with you. And step 2 is all about beginning that communication process. So step 1, you're setting the stage, you're laying the foundation for intuitive communication. Step 2, you're starting that communication process. And because communication is a two-way street, we send in communication and we receive communication. We're going to start with the easiest one, which is sending. So a lot of times people say, like, how do I talk to my pet? How do I know that my pet got my message? What's the best way to send a signal? I just talked about sending that picture to Star the horse. Well, how do I send that picture? That's what step 2 is all about. It's taking awareness and control of your communication that you're sending out to your pet, and doing it in an intentional way, so it's going to be really effective. So tomorrow we'll talk about how to send intuitive communication. And then later on in the series, we're going to be talking about how to be a better receiver. But if you're doing a grounding cord every day, you're already a better receiver. You're already going to be more aware, and you're already going to start noticing stuff that you weren't going to notice before because there was too much going on. So, if you are somebody who has read a bunch of books, tried a bunch of things, gone to a bunch of classes, and you're going, Kara, I've tried it, it hasn't worked, it's just not for me, I'm here to say, I gotcha, I hear you, because that was me too. I read books, I tried stuff, and nothing was working for me until I learned these tools. So these tools worked for me, they'll work for you. And I want to share what one of my students, Kim, had to say, because she had a very similar experience where she tried a bunch of things. So this is what Kim says. When I found Kara's class, I had been chasing my own animal communication dream for a few years. I had taken classes, read dozens of books, attended workshops, had energy healing sessions, and I got nowhere. I needed to try something different from a teacher who was not born being able to communicate with animals, but learned how to do it herself. The tools and skills in this class have worked for me when nothing else did. I am now reliably and regularly talking to animals. Talking to animals is the most beautiful, magical, and amazing thing I could do with my life. And by using the tools regularly, intuitive conversations with animals show up all the time. And it's becoming so easy and natural for me. My dream is finally coming true. And it's true. She's got animals like kind of coming out of the woodwork talking to her in the forest when she takes her dog for a walk and all kinds of stuff. She talks to tarantulas. Super cool. So it works for me, and I get it, I'm the teacher. You're like, yeah, so what? But it worked for Kim, and Kim had tried a lot of things for a lot of years. And I had had this dream for a lot of years too, and it wasn't until I learned these tools that it finally worked for me. So hang in there. If it hasn't worked for you yet, just hang in there for 4 more days, give it a try, because I really, really, really think this is going to work for you. So that's it for today. I don't want to keep you here forever. I want you to go and try your grounding cord and go hang out with your animals and see what shows up. Just start being aware of any nuances, any differences, any thoughts, any nudges that you start to get. And I'd love to hear how it's going for you. So in the comments below, I'd love for you to share with me, what's your why? Why do you want to communicate with animals? Who's the animal that you most want to talk to? And what's your experience with the grounding cord? What do you notice? How's it going for you? And any, of course, any like breakthroughs and major ahas, definitely share them there. So that's it for me today. Leave a note in the comments. I'd love to hear from you, and I look forward to connecting with you tomorrow. Step 2, all about sending really clear communication to your favorite animals. All right, have a beautiful day, and I'll look forward to seeing you soon. Bye, everybody.